Are we back? All right. Are we back? Yes, perfect. Just getting my thing back. I don't know what it is. My internet was just fine. It just like didn't want to play, I guess. Well, that kind of sucked, but all right. Well, hopefully now that we're back, got VMC, Copper Alum, Marshall, so it looks like at least some of us are back. I don't know why it does that. I apologize. I have no idea why, because my internet was fine, my computer is fine. Must have just glitched, because even in my Streamlabs it says its chat is disabled for this live stream, cannot connect. So, who knows? So hopefully we'll get some of them back. If not, that's happened to me when you can't get back in, and then later on you'll finally pop up. And it's weird. It's done that to me, I think, one other time. Hey, KJ. Looks like everybody just barely got back. I don't know what it was, but because my internet and computer and everything is fine. It, you know, it's not overloaded. You know, it's got plenty of processing. That's why I'm starting to do streams, is because I had to get a new computer. And I told myself if I hit 1,000 subs, I would start looking at it. And I just kind of blew past that. My first year I thought I'd have about 100, and I ended up with almost 5. And I figured I'd get maybe up to 1,000 this year, and I don't know what happened, but about the same time that Paul and everybody kind of had a few videos, you know, hit like 500,000. Mine, to me, went viral. It was had a video that had about 18,000 views, or some sorts, 18, a 13, a 12,000, and like within a month I gained about almost 3,000 subscribers on it. And it was like, okay, whatever's going on, let it keep going. So, and I had that happen. I was like, well, now I've got to look for getting a computer. So I found this, and I couldn't pass it up. It was on sale that day. It was an Amazon deal thing, and so it's got a an i9 12th gen processor, which is not the one that causes problems. So you got the i9 12th gen 5 gig max processing, 20 core, 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte hard drive, and it has not had any problems except for these couple times, and I don't think it's a computer problem. I think it's something to do with I was going to say eBay, but we're not doing eBay. I haven't done eBay forever. Well, I have, but not selling. So anyway, my computer's been doing good. I was one of those that just came about the right time and was able to do this. I don't think the live vertical, a vertical live came back, but I think on that only mostly people just kind of passed through, didn't really watch much. I know a few of you were usually in there, but I think people watch for a few minutes and then kind of go off from it. On pennies, I think I need to start them earlier just because, well, I should open more boxes myself because then it gets me back into the routine of it. So here in, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour, my kids will call. They always call and say goodnight. So if so, I will step out for just about usually about 2 minutes. My son says goodnight and then passes it to his sister, and my daughter says goodnight. And then that's all it is, basically just a quick good night. So now I'm kind of getting back into the rhythm of hunting pennies. It's going a little faster. On halves, I can search halves pretty quick. I would have already been through my first box of halves already. But for those who are back, I appreciate it. It's just one of those, right now I'm working on getting my watch hours up because I didn't expect to have all those subs that quick. So streaming gives me more than just my videos. We've had some decent finds tonight, at least. Nice blazer. But we'll see what else we find. Yeah, it's one of those that even though it's a quick, like I said, it's usually just a matter of a couple minutes, 2-3 minutes. They'll be like, how was your day? What did you do? What are you going to do tomorrow? Yeah, I'm just going to go to school. Sometimes it'll be like, oh, I'm having a sleepover with my friend or whatever tomorrow, and it'll be like, oh, that's cool. But I know the questions they'll ask. It's basically always going to be which one will ask which question, which I don't mind. It's one of those just being able to talk to your kids for a few minutes is still cool. I don't think I need it, but I'm going to compare that to my album. When the kids come over, like on the weekend and stuff, they go over to Grandma's. I live in, they're technically townhouses. I call them apartments because they're all Airbnbs. About half of them are rented out that way. The other half are rentals. But they go across the parking lot and across the street, and then it's the regular houses where, normal neighborhood. So all they do is they just hop the wall and end up at Grandma's and Grandpa's. They like going over there. My son likes to go over and tries to talk Grandpa into making fires. They have a fire pit in the backyard that sometimes we'll do, s'mores or marshmallows or whatever. And sometimes it'll be hotter than crap, and my son will be like, can we build a fire? No, it's 100 degrees outside. We're not building a fire. But he goes up on the mountain and gets wood with them. And they like spending time over there, which is good. Growing up, it was a 12-hour drive to get from where I lived in Wyoming up in the middle of nowhere, Casper. One of the windiest spots in the country. It's always ranked as one of the windiest. Usually it's been the top 5, but the average wind speed, like the one time I looked, it was 19 miles an hour average. So yeah, we would go from Casper down to southern Utah, where I live now, and it was a 12-hour drive. So we had to keep ourselves occupied. Back in the 80s, that was before all the fancy stuff. So we did Mad Libs and, game things. And one of the things I did is, to keep myself occupied, I learned my alphabet backwards. So I memorized it backwards. And oh, there we go. Let's move that light. There we go. See if it'll clear it. Oh, I guess it would help if I put the right date on it. Yeah, it doesn't want to focus again. Ooh. I really want it to focus. Because it is a 1937 There we go. Finally, yay! So 1937 is now our oldest. I don't know why it took so long for that stupid thing to focus, but so far, JC Likes Pam and BH Ringer are both at 1937 on the dot. On the nose. Yeah, and then you get these ones like that, and it's like, what the crap? So I don't know if either of them are still in here, if JC or BH. As I say, New Marshall had 36, so you were one off. Anyway, I had to learn my alphabet backwards. I got sidetracked there with that 37. And my son decided, that's cool. I'm going to learn to do that. So he's learning his backwards. And people go, oh, you cannot. I'm like, yeah, I can. And I will, like, close my eyes or whatever, put my hand over my eyes like if I'm at a keyboard. And for me, honestly, if I'm looking at the keyboard, it's like, that won't work either. Because then you have to go, let's see, what is it? So I can go ZYXWV, UTS, RQP, ONM, LKJ, IHG, FED, CBA. I wouldn't say it's a weird talent, but if anybody's ever been able to do that, no one has ever said, oh, I can do that. Most people are probably like, why the crap do you want to learn that? But I'm just a weirdo. And if you've watched me, you probably know that. That's what I thought. Another one there. Another wheat cent. And that one is a 1955. So that's 7 Wheaties so far. If it stays like that, JC had 7, Jim Thompson had 7. I'm sure we'll find more, but if it ended right now, JC, it looks like we'd get a ton of extra. Making people angry. Yeah. I kind of learned not, I used to always get irritated about all kinds of stuff, but now, as I've gotten older, about the only thing that really is irritating to me is bad driving. People that go slow. Like the other Saturday we were on the interstate and there was, highway, and someone was going 55 in a 65. You know, that's fine, but get out of my way. Growing up, like my sister, if she was on the stairs, I would say, almost 2 more, this one, and then 2 more rolls, and you'll be, because right now we're on roll 23. But I would tell my sister, move or get out of the way. And of course, if you think about it, move or get out of my way is the same thing, but one is more of a command, and the other one's a request, I guess. $1966. We can look for DDO. $63D could be a DDO. I found that the times that it has blinked out and kicked me out or whatever, is when my latency has gotten changed to normal. Normally I have it on ultra low, so there is no, like, you know, just a couple second lag instead. And like this one, for some reason, it was bumped to normal. And it kicked me off. So I'll just have to, I guess, double check it when I go to do them now. Yeah, it's one of those, people that can't drive, I mean, not a race car driver, but I've driven actual NASCAR car a couple times. When I was at Phoenix, it's not a big track, so that was like 107 or something. I was at Las Vegas, middle of summer. It was 113 degrees out, and I'm in a car with, of course, no air conditioning, in a fire suit with a helmet and gloves and strapped in and all that. And I ended up hitting 147 miles an hour. And that was, I could have gone faster, but the car was governed. And I had lap traffic, so you had to wait until they could tell you to go, because there was also like pros that took people for ride-alongs and that. And so when I was behind a couple slow people and the other guys were coming around, you know, the corner just behind me, so I had to wait a little bit, plus I was governed, so I couldn't go as fast as I wanted. And so I only hit 147 miles an hour. I know some people go, only? And it's like, you know, being sarcastic, like, only 147? Hey! Clear fishing! Welcome! It was funny when I was just finished watching your video and you had commented on mine. I was like, that is like weird timing. We've had some decent luck so far. Opening some of these for Copper Owl, and that is the one that we pulled, 1952. I'm making sure I don't touch it except for the edges. Like I said, I will flip that up just so it doesn't get beat up and cleaned around and fingerprints and yeah, I used to have all kinds of stuff come out of my mouth. It wasn't, you know, growing up in Wyoming, number one. Number two, my dad was in oil field. Number three, everybody was either ranchers or oil or coal mining. So there was 2 high schools in town. Ours was the west side, and the other one was the east side. They weren't called east or west or anything. It was just we were Natrona County, and they were Kelly Walsh. We were the Mustangs. They were Trojans. So we always make fun of them that way. But the east side is where like all the doctors, lawyers, you know, stuff like that lived. And they were better at tennis and some of that kind of things. That's 1 year off. 59. 1 year off of a wheat penny. But when it came to football, we absolutely dominated, smashed, whatever you want to call it. We would win. We called it the Oil Bowl. And the Oil Bowl was, you know, because of being in Casper. And it was a 5-gallon drum. Hey, Showbell, thank you. Even if it's for a minute, just stopping in to say hi, I appreciate it. Yeah, I try to start earlier, 8:30 or 6:30 Mountain, because then it's like not super late. If I start at like 8 o'clock or something, you know, back east, that's way later by the time I even get going. So that's why I was looking at this time to start streaming usually. It's a nice 1963. I think we found a 62 for you earlier, so I'll throw that one in. So you got two nice ones. But the Oil Bowl, we would just dominate in football. We'd win it like 5, 6, 7 years. They'd finally win a year. We'd win another, you know, 7, 8 years. They'd finally win a year. I don't think they ever had it 2 years in a row. So our building looked like a castle. It was built in like 1932 or 36 or something by the Army Corps of Engineers, and it looks basically like a castle. And one of the things was they were going to do it, but they wanted to put an ROTC program in, and or they already had one or something, but one of the things was they had a rifle range in the school. By the time I got there, they had shut down the rifle range and turned it into, I think, storage or something. But not many people can say that their high school had a rifle range in it. So I was in 4 years of ROTC. At that time, I didn't care about grades and that, so I wasn't a officer. I was just NCO. Highest rank I could get at that point was a command sergeant major. My little brother came in behind me, so I was, you know, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. I graduated, and then my little brother went 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, and he ended up as the battalion commander. And my older brother, who was in mortuary science, because by that time he was already married, and being in mortuary science, he had moved, and I think he was up in Seattle area or something, and got laid off or something. I can't remember the exact thing, but he ended up enlisting in the Army and was in there for 13 years, I think. So now he is one of those that works for a private contractor doing like government installation system stuff. don't know exactly, but it's one of those that they do the extra background checks on like family and all that kind of stuff. So whatever it actually is obviously more than just installing internet system or whatever. But yeah, the one that didn't do ROTC was the one that went into the Army. And that's basically one of my biggest regrets is not going in, because I wanted to go 4 years of college and go in as a officer. And I was figuring out, because now I'd be 20 years in, because I'm 46 now. I'd be 20 years because I would have graduated when I was 25. And I would be probably about a major. Some guys I've talked to, they said, yeah, you'd be about that rank when I was, talking to them and stuff. So yeah, that's about my only biggest huge regret. I kind of chased the money instead of like staying in school. I was in college and I accidentally got 3 associate degrees. And yes, you can accidentally get 3 associates. Because once you hit full time, it was basically nothing to add extra classes. So I was taking like 8 classes a semester. And I got my associate in business administration. I went down to the office and I said, what do I need for a economics and a foreign language? They said, fill out this form. And I was like, but what do I need to do? And they're like, fill out the form. I was like, well, I need to know like what classes and stuff I need to do to get that. And they said, you've got enough credits, fill out the form and you can have them. I'm like, oh. So I filled out the form and they sent me 2 more. The 1959, 1 year off. And they sent me 2 more associate degrees. So there you go. But then like I said, I was kind of chasing and coin explosion. Pardon my mess. So then I ended up going back later and got my bachelor's in economics. And then ended up later going back and getting my MBA. So I didn't do the route that most people did. Most people would go and do all the school at once, but oh well. The only thing I can do now is get a PhD, and there's no way I'm doing that. Can't really do much with a PhD except for either teach or research or something like that. And I do not want a PhD in economics. So I'm done with school. I graduated with my MBA 10 years ago. And that's it. So you guys get to learn all kinds of fun stuff about me. If you have any questions, let me know. I pretty much will answer anything. Like usual, we try to keep politics, that sort of thing down, just so it doesn't cause problems. My opinion is I kind of like when I worked security and bounced. It's like, if you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. You can have differing opinions, that is completely fine. So if we really want to cause problems, I can say I like pretty much any music, but my least favorite is country. I mean, I'll listen to it. It's not that I tune into it, but if it's on, it's not like, I go crazy. It's just I prefer not. But then I'm one of those, I'm 46, I'm driving down the road, you know, my head is buzzed down because it's thinning, and I'll have my windows down and I'm blasting rap, hip hop, whatever you want to call it. The radio station's technically a hip hop station, but they play a lot of rap. But it's funny when people look at me and they're not expecting that. I do not like tomatoes. I don't mind salsa. I don't mind like tomato sauce, you know, spaghetti sauce, you know, a bolognese, whatever. But hunks of tomato on a salad or big slices on a sandwich, no thank you. I'm not fond of avocado. If it's like in a burrito, I'm not gonna, you know, scrape it out or anything, but if I have the opportunity to not order it, I do. It's not my worst one, but and then cucumber, no thank you. What's weird is you actually have an Armenian cucumber. It's technically not a cucumber, it's a melon. That one doesn't taste bad. It's like decent. I don't want to sit down to a plate of them, but that's about the only three things I really don't like. I've always said that I will try at least anything once. So I've tried lots of weird things. I've had cow brain. Of course, tongue, that's a good one. Cow brain is not my favorite. No, thank you. You know, I've had menudo. It's okay. I'm not going to order it, but when I was served it, it was like, meh. You know, I ate it. It was fine. One of the things that a lot of people have never heard of is a thing called wheat locoche. It's basically a black corn fungus, and there's different ways of preparing it. The way I had it when I was in Mexico was kind of like in a sauce, like on a plate, and it was good. It's kind of a mix, in my opinion, a mix between mushrooms and truffles. So if you don't like mushrooms, you'll probably not like it. But yeah, it's basically, to me, a mixture of those two. I mean, mushrooms and truffles are similar. But very earthy. But it was good. But yeah, I've always said I'll try anything. Cow stomach, you know, like I said, if it's served to me, it's fine. I'm not gonna say no. But it's not something I would sit down to eat. When I go, there's a Mexican place in town, And it's a small town, but there's a Mexican place that has lengua that you can get, cow tongue. A lot of people don't like it. I actually do like it. It's actually very good if it's prepared right. Sometimes you can have it prepared not so good and it's kind of icky. So I understand when people say they don't like it. When I lived in Grand Junction, I was dating a Mexican girl. So there was all kinds of good food there. And one of the things I actually found at that Mexican restaurant in town is that they have something called pozole. It's basically kind of like a broth that there's red and green pozole. I like red. It's kind of like a red broth, and it's got usually pork in it, and it's got hominy. I love hominy. It's good. And then you put fresh cilantro, lime, shredded cabbage, radish, onion, and then you just mix it in and eat it. And I haven't had that forever, and I found out that they have it, and it's like when it gets colder and I feel like it, I might go down and give me some of that. Won't probably be for months because it's still warm here. Kind of weird. We had a few rolls there that were kind of nice, and a row that not maybe I can't remember consecutive. I was going to say consensual. That doesn't make sense. I like both. I prefer white. I don't know if there's much of a difference, but I find I like white hominy a little better. Another thing that I like is ceviche. It's raw fish, but it's cooked by lime juice, so the acids cook it. And then the way I've always had it is like with kind of like a tostada or chips, something like that, and you just scoop it up and it's good. It's always got I've had all kinds of different stuff, but usually it's got like some onions and veggies and things, but ceviche is good. Yeah, I don't know if I would be able to tell just because I haven't actually had it for a while, but just one of those things, like if I see it, I prefer white, but taste, being blindfolded, I probably wouldn't be able to guess. Although I've had it to where, like, I'll say, no tomato or whatever, and I'll bite into something, I'm like, it's got tomato in it. They're like, you haven't even looked at it. And I'm like, I can taste it. And it's not so much that, like, if it's pico de gallo or something, I don't mind it. But like a BLT, sorry, Take off the T. Sandwich, a hamburger, no thanks. Leave it off. But then I like super hot food. Other people, of course, don't. Nothing wrong with that. I had my gallbladder out long ago, probably 25 years ago. And people would always say you can't eat spicy food afterwards, and because it makes it hurt. I honestly can probably eat spicier after than before. But I make a hot sauce that's habanero and ghost pepper. Now this one here we gotta find. If it'll focus, probably not. I cannot see a year on this thing. There it is. Oh. A 1953 Canadian just found. I knew it was going to be an older one from that. So there you go, a second weedy, or a second leafy, as my daughter calls them. We've had 8 Wheaties, one of them a Blazer. At first I was thinking it was just kind of a crusty penny, but then I noticed it had an outline of a leaf, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not just a crusty one. Welcome, just one more roll. Thank you for stopping in. Just hunting a box for Copper Owl. If you want to play those games, you got you can do gamble, slots, duel, that sort of thing. If you don't have points, let me know and I will add some to you. I always use the knife to open up the roll, and twice tonight I've almost sliced into my hand. I think I need to sharpen it, actually. You know, like they say, you know, if you cook with a dull knife, you actually are more likely to cut yourself. And I think it's kind of the same thing with this. If it's sharp, it is less likely to slip off and cut. Let me add some to you, New Marshall. Just a second here. There we go. No, the stream just kind of froze and then kicked everybody out. New Marshall, you now have 2 million points. You had 7, I just changed it to 2 million is all. If anybody needs any, let me know. Yeah, I was probably given a circle of death. It was just sitting there probably spinning, and then on mine it was saying reconnecting, you know, kept saying reconnecting. Then all of a sudden it just kicked it out, and it says chat is disabled for this live stream. No idea why, because I've got it obviously going. So, like I was saying earlier, it's basically whenever I've found my latency has gotten changed, like somehow by accident or something, instead of ultra low and it's regular. Hey, CoinQuester, welcome. Can't remember if you were here earlier or not, but stream kicked everybody out, so a lot of people disappeared for a while. We found some nice things. The best one so far is probably this one. It's a 1952 Blazer. And then to go along with it, a 1953 Canadian. And I'm just throwing a bunch of these off to the side that are possible, like DDOs or, you know, close, wide AM, that sort of thing. I'm throwing them off to the side into a pile. And I'm going to go through those later. Like I said earlier, if my kids call, I will step out for just a minute. They usually only talk for, you know, a couple minutes. You know, ask how my day was, what I did, what I'm going to do tomorrow. So that's usually around 8:45 to 9 o'clock area, since it's a school night. I don't know if anybody's actually hit a jackpot on the slots. I don't know why, because it's not like set to be more difficult or something. If you do need points, just tag me so I'm more likely to see it, and I will go in and add points to you. You're back, Copper Owl. I don't know if you were here when this was found. 1953 Canadian to go along with your 52 Blazer. I knew it was an older one from when I saw the front of it. So there you go. Yeah, we had 52 Blazer, we've had 52 Canadian, a total of 8 Wheaties, 2 Canadians, a couple other Blazers. I haven't done any like DDOs or anything. I've got those off in a pile, because I can always search those when I can't sleep. I can take multiple sleeping pills and still be awake, and that's without drinking caffeine. And we got 12 rolls left. No, you don't have to bet all of it for slots. Even if you bet all, it won't let you bet like all of your points. It only lets you put 100,000 or something. Sorry about that. But if someone comes in and they don't have the points, I add 2 million points to everybody that needs it. So you can check your points by exclamation points, and that will give you your current point that you have. Just like Copper Owl did, !me will give you your channel link. So if you provide content, Copper Owl streams on his channel. So you're able to click his link there, and you can turn on notifications, and then you get notified. Alright, well, I just saw CoinQuester put that, and it says 1. Let me go in and add some to you. Give me just a moment. There you go. You should have plenty of points. You got a few different games. You got a gamble, exclamation gamble, exclamation duel, and then a space, and it will put whoever you want to do that with. How do you like that one? You can see it's a 1950 something. So I was like, is it? Nope. If you want it, I'll throw it in. Let me know. So yeah, the easiest way is just tag me so I can, see it with all the, chat and everything going along. I hate these ones that are like sticky. It's like, why is it sticky? I used to be just my regular name, from when I signed up on YouTube, and just was that forever. And then I decided I'm going to start doing recap videos. So I ended up changing it to to Dad Hunts Coins, because I hunt coins with my kids sometimes when they're with me, like on the Canadians. We always call them Canadians. Well, my daughter, instead of us trying to find Wheaties, she likes to find them, and she calls them Leafies. So it's one of those that's why I decided on Dad Hunts Coins, because I hunt coins by myself, but also with them. They had a $50 box they opened one time, and there ended up being 10 silvers in it. She pulled a Walker, I think 3 Benjis, 2 of them like really nice. My son pulled some, but yeah, they had 10 in that. Last Wednesday, because my bank usually only gets the orders every other week because we live in the middle of nowhere, and I went in, and because I deposit the payroll check for the hospital, and they're like, yeah, we didn't get them. Last time that happened, when I went into the next time, they ended up getting an order of 8. Usually they get 4 every other week. So I had taken the 8. So that's what I'm wondering what will happen this time, is if I go in next Wednesday, if it's going to be, yep, we've got 8 of them, which is fine. It's just one of those that I'd like to kind of spread them out a little bit. So usually I end up opening a couple boxes. more frequently and get money back in the bank, because 4 of them is 8 of them is $4,000. So luckily I have the savings and everything, but I don't like to let it sit in my floor too much. I mean, I've got a couple grand sitting on between when I went in to dump my coins last Wednesday. The bank was like, "We've got more dimes. Do you want more?" I was like, they're like, we'll give you 4 of them. So I was like, yeah, I'll take them. I didn't want dimes, but one of those things that their vault, I guess, was full. So like this for Copper Owl, when Pa does his AFSP stream, I had sent him a giveaway package of a nickel and one of pennies as a giveaway. And also with his is kind of like last year, if you do a donation of $500 or more, there's some of us that are going to throw in like extra hunts and things. So I offered to throw in a penny or nickel hunt of your choice with the guaranteed coins. So that's one way to help out with them. Like I said, it's something little, but just nice to kind of give back. Pa's helped me so much with my channel and getting going, and I've been watching him forever, from when he was less than 500 people, and now he is over 115,000, I think. So anyway, that's my extra con. You can see that. Let's see what year it is. Uh, 1949 out of Denver. So you've got one from the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s. There you go. And I think it's a D. Maybe an S. If it's 49S, that's one that you needed. Let's see if we can get it to focus a little bit. That might be an S. Normally I wouldn't do it right now, but let's flip over and... So, Copper Owl, you are needing a 49S. How do you like them apples? So there's one that I'm crossing off that list that you need. Congratulations, one more for your book. See, you never know what you're going to get. Like that one there, I was thinking, it's just a Wheatie. Turned out to be a 40s. And then it was one of them that you needed. We got 8 rolls left. And like I said, probably here in just a minute or two, my kids will probably call. And like I said, when I do, I will step out just for a moment. I'm still going to be here. Just going to be away just so you guys don't have to listen to the conversation. Not that it's a big deal about the conversation, but it's like, I don't care if you listen. But some people may not want to. I have not seen any past 2021. I've not had any 2022s and none. Oh, yeah. What the heck? It should be clear. No, okay. I don't know why it was doing that. It was clear when I looked up, and then I saw chat and said focus. So 2021s are the newest that I have seen out of this box. So I don't know, maybe if it's an old stock or what it was. Sometimes, like hunting nickels, it took just until like a couple months now, couple months ago, I mean, to finally find my first 2025, or 2024, sorry. I've got 2 boxes of 2025. So I don't know why it's taken so long to get 2024s into circulation where I'm at, but yeah, I finally found one. I don't find many enders. My daughter popped a box one time and had a wheat ender. And I was looking and just kind of threw them, and I was like, wait a minute. And I looked at another roll that was kind of an older looking coin. And it was a front-facing wheatie. So the most I've ever had in a box is 2 enders. I've only had an ender a handful of times. I don't think I've ever had a nickel ender. Like a buffalo or anything like that. My first box I ever opened, I actually pulled a dated buffalo and a V nickel out of one box. The very first one I ever opened. So you never know what kind of boxes you'll find. I know people that have hunted and hunted and hunted and never found a V nickel. I think it was it was last year. It was my, I think about 15th box of that year. And I popped a 1950D. And I know Rob's been looking for one forever, and I happen to just like pop it within a few boxes. I saw Pa did one. He finally found the elusive 1950D. So they're out there. And I always look at the, like when they're like that or whatever, I always look at the front, because sometimes you'll see a proof from the front, but not the back. There you go. 1974 Canadian Leafy number 3. My kids are late calling tonight. Sometimes they get like some kind of activity or something and chrome plated. Oh, I'm like, I was thinking pennies, but I was like, why would someone plate them in chrome? But yeah. That is my pile of pennies that I'm going to have to go through so far. So like I said, I've been throwing them off to the side. I'm not just ignoring them and not searching for them. I'm just going to do those either at the end or later or something. And it's one of those that some people probably go, oh, I'm going to search them, and if I find something, I'm just not going to tell, you know, like off camera or something, you know, if I'm certain, oh, there's a 23. Nope, 13. Never mind. And for me, I'd rather be, if I find one, it's like, woohoo, and then send it. Because I don't want to have people think that I am cheating them. Like I said, I have some copper rounds coming tomorrow, so the giveaway tonight will probably be one of those. It's just random designs, not like any particular one. So I don't even know what they'll look like. But that's probably what I'll do as a giveaway tonight, and it'll be a surprise for both of us. Because I wanted to have something other to give away than just kind of like my normal coins. And I've always thought, you know, the copper rounds were cool. I've gotten some of those before. And what's funny is I ordered the copper rounds, and then the next day I ordered those clear acrylic holders, capsules. Those, and those came today, so I was hoping the other ones would come, but no, it's in, it says Las Vegas, but that was yesterday, which means they'll probably be here in my town tomorrow.
Your son is attempting to reach you on your cellular device.
That's my son. Give me just a minute.
Your son is attempting to reach you on your...
No. Okay. Just doing a penny hunt right now. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, guys. That was a longer call than normal. He was telling me that they have football every day of the week this week instead of just 4 days. Usually they don't practice on Fridays. So, and that ringtone was the one that my son picked. I didn't pick it. I let my kids choose both of their ringtones. And he thought that one was cool, so that's what it is. Can't remember which night it was, right as we were ending, and they called, and someone was like, "That's a cool ringtone," or something like that. So, oh, it's a 70D, not an S. Dang it. It's funny how sometimes I can get a bunch of coins in one roll that I'm setting off to the side to go, search for DDOs and stuff, and other ones you can sit there and find nothing in a roll or something. And again, if you need any points, if you are in and don't have any or run out, just tag me and we'll get you some. Nice. One of the ones I've got, actually I don't know if I got that one or not. It was a 5-ounce Kraken with glow-in-the-dark eyes, I believe. I can't remember if I got that one or if I'm looking at it. I don't know. If there's any Aztec calendars, sorry, I'm not giving that one out. That's my favorite thing, Aztec calendar. I have all kinds of stuff. I've actually been down to the actual Aztec calendar that's in the Museum of Anthropology in Mexico City. And what's funny is there was someone online as someone had posted on Facebook, and I said, I've been to the real one down in Mexico City, and some Mexican guy was like, that's the Mayan calendar. You don't know what you're talking about. Don't be lying to people. And so I pulled up the Museum of Anthropology's website in Spanish, put the link in, and I said, then you need to tell the museum that they are wrong. Magically, he deleted his comment. There is a Mayan calendar, but it's not that one. It's different than the Aztec calendar. But I thought it was funny, if you prove someone wrong, instead of going, oops, my bad, they just totally delete the comment and pretend they never did it. But yeah, kind of shut him up when I said, well, then you need to tell the museum that they are wrong. Sometimes instead of fighting with people, it's easier just to, like on that, give them a link, tell them that, and it just basically ends the argument. But then there's some people that will argue with you no matter what, even if they've cut their foot off. They'll be like, my foot's not cut off. No, really? Then why is it dangling, or not even dangling, but off to the side there? There we go. I think this is number 9, Weedy. It's a 1958 Denver. So I think that's Weedy number 9. There you go, one more. Kind of a slower box with only 9 Wheaties so far, and I've only got one more roll left for you. Although you did find 3 Canadians so far. Alrighty, last one. And for me, I just tear the boxes down and throw them in my thing. I think we'll find a Wheatie in the last roll, or the last roll. Ooh, it's only 9:15, and I'm actually a little bit, not sleepy, but a little bit, I don't know what the word is called, relaxed, maybe? Maybe that means I'll sleep good tonight. All right. Oops. So that is your pile that I'm going to go through and look for DDOs and stuff. I haven't. I've seen them. So I'll probably do those off camera. But anyway, there is that pile. Is Copper Owl still here? Yep. So I've got those off to the side for you. I just thought that was interesting. If you want it, it's yours. You can see down here it's 1950 something. I thought it was going to be a Wheatie, but no. Which means it's 59. So you had those 2 pretty nice ones. a 63 and D and a 62D. So those will be in your thing. You got 3 Canadians. Awesome. It's a free penny. This is the 1981. That's the 1974. And the coolest one out of those, $1953. It's dirty, you can clean it up. But yeah, you could tell the head was different. So I knew it was an old one. I just didn't know how old. I'm not good with my years of knowing which queen, whatever number it is. So anyway, there's those 3. Those 2 BUs. And while I'm right here, I'm just writing down coin roll hunt. And today's the 22nd. So that's that 1952, really nice one. And then the other ones were the 1958 Denver, 1953, no S, sorry, 1958 Denver, a 1955 D, 1947 S, so not the one you need, and 1958, so 3 58s in there. And then your other 2 is that 1949 San Francisco, so that's one that you need. There's your 40s. And the oldest one of the night, 1937. So not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Wheaties and 3 Canadian. So at the beginning of the night, we had the oldest date was 1937 as a guess. We had both JC Likes Pan and BH Ringer. So we're gonna do this tonight. If I can find, there we go. All right, so come on, you can focus. It's showing it's clear. Why is it not showing on? There we go. Now it's focused more. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I knew there was a few of them, but I could never remember like which one's which and that sort of thing. Laureate portrait. Yeah. So let's do this. If you want, in the drawing for the copper round that I will be getting tomorrow, I don't know why it's showing up fuzzy when my screen shows it's perfect. Nice. So if you want in the drawing, just write wheel. If you misspell it, that's fine. W-H-E-E-L, and I will get you put in for that. So far we've got a Copper Owl, a Tim Ivins, a JC Lex Pam, a B.H. Ringer. Those were all earlier guest things, so if you want in for those, I'm going to put Copper Owl in again because I know he's here, and it's his box. I know we have BH and BMC. It's a New Marshall. KJ in Ohio. BMC. Queen Quester. Anybody else? Give me a minute or two since I know there's a lag. I was going to say, I know that there's more than 5 people. Anybody else? Just type wheel. And when I send it, it will be a surprise for both of us because I don't know which ones I'm going to get. But if I do, maybe I'll email you a picture and you can tell me which one you want. Or if you just want to be surprised, let me know that. Anybody else getting in? Anybody else? Okay. Awesome. So a few of you do have extra entries because you guessed my drink of the night. Barks. And the oldest one, 2 of you got it exactly on the nose. JC Likes Pam and BH Ringer. So, oh, and there's one more. Let's see what we needed. The total amount of Wheaties was the other one. So we had a 5, a 17, a 13, a 7, 8, 7, and 4. So there is 9 Wheaties. The closest one is New Marshall at 8, so you get an extra entry. Okay. So I'm going to enlarge this screen and pull it over to the other one so you can see the wheel. So I'm going to say the wheel is now closed. Let me switch over to the other monitor. There, right there. I'm going to shuffle these up and spin. All right, New Marshall. One of those extra entries ended up getting you possibly an extra win. All right, well, I'm going to write that down. New Marshall. So again, just send me an email, dadhuntscoins@gmail.com, with your name and address, and if it's a different YouTube name, of course. I don't know if they were able to come back in or not, because it was supposed to open both of them back up, but it wouldn't let me do the dual. So anyway, congratulations. I was wondering if KJ was going to win, because he won 2 in a row one time. I think number 2 and number 3 I ever did. So I'm going to go through all those up here here shortly. If you want to stick around, I guess you can. And I'm going to get this in a bag. Since actually I have one for you already, but so there's that for you. Surprise you. Okay. Save until after Thursday. Sounds good. I can definitely do that. I'm going to write that down before I forget, because I know I will. That way I remember New Marshall on Thursday. It's a surprise. So I've got your finds, I've got your pack. I'm going to go through and see if any of those any of the Wheaties I have can help fill that for you, because I do have 40s and 50s that are just regular. A prize for the oldest, that was an extra entry into the wheel, so you did get an extra entry for the oldest year, 1937, and plus I put that one in for the wheel, so you had 2 on there. But send me an email and we will get you around also, because I did not clarify that at the beginning, so that was my fault. So send me an email and you will get another surprise round. If you just want to be surprised, let me know. If you want, like I said, I can take a picture of the ones I get, because I have no idea what they are, and I'll send it to you and you can choose which one. Alright, so BH, send me that and you will also get a round. Let's try BH. There you go. Nope, that was completely fine. Like I said, I didn't really think about saying that at the beginning. So there you go. So I'm going to go through those pennies, and if there's any more, I will stick those in your finds. I appreciate you guys watching. Yes. DadHuntsCoins at Gmail. Pretty much everything is DadHuntsCoins. Gmail, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, my logo. I've got some coins for you, so I'm going to put an extra one in there and there. And I'm going to get one to make sure I put one there. And then you'll get a package with that. Not a problem. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm just kind of starting it out and offering it and stuff, and you're my first offer that took up. But yeah, I've got plenty of pennies and nickels. Maybe I'll have to start labeling the boxes and let you guys choose. Right now I'm just kind of taking them out of the pile. So thank you guys for coming. Sorry about the kicking everybody out by accident, since my stupid thing decided to crash. And like I said, it's that latency that normally I have it on ultra low, so it's, I think, about a 2 or 3 second delay. And for some reason, when I noticed it was regular the other night when that happened, it was also on regular. So I don't know why. You would think if it was on ultra low it would do it, but guess not. So I'm going to go through those pennies and hopefully we'll find some stuff for you. I know you sent me your email for the list that you needed. Yeah. My nickels, I had a box that I found, I think 9 1939s, not the key date ones, but 9 of them, which was kind of crazy. But if there's certain ones you're looking for, hopefully we'll find them. My nickels usually tend to do pretty good. And I've got 2 boxes of 2025 nickels that I'm looking, maybe sticking one on eBay and selling it as a full box unopened, and then selling the other ones as rolls. But I don't know, I'm still kind of deciding on that, because rolls, you know, you can get extra for the rolls individual, but then you have to go through and sell them all individual. So I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. I don't think I want to keep a whole box to myself, but yeah, send a list and hopefully we'll find some, because I do have quite a few nickels that I have found that, like 30s and 40s and 50s, I just kind of stick into a box off to the side and then I go through them later, and I haven't got to those later, so I've got a couple handfuls at least. And it's one of those that if I can find a good nickel, so with the nickel package, if you take the full package, you do have V nickels, and these are about the condition that they are. Some of them a little bit slicker, some of them have, you know, pretty decent detail on that. So anyway, I've got those ones. The, of course, war nickels, I do have more of those off to the side also. And then my buffaloes, they are all dated. So for example, just pulling some random ones out. A 1935, full date. 1936, this one looks to be cleaned because it's kind of shiny. It's 36, 35, 37. They're probably all going to be like late 30s. I just bought those off AppMex. There's a lot of mine are no dates or partial dates. And then the other one that you will like is AU Warnicles. These were I couldn't really do the BU. The BU were almost twice as much. I mean, this here was $200 something, I believe, and I got that before silver went up to 42 or whatever it was. 43 and 45D. Well, we can definitely look at that. When you do, if you do want to do it, send me a list if you decide to do a hunt. If we don't, I can always go through mine. I'm sure I've got the few of them, and we can always see about, you know, even if it's just melt value or whatever, or if you do the package, I'll go through and find you the ones that you need. Just a 43P and a 45D. We got BH right here. I was going to see what I'm sure I have them. And like I said, I'll go through them and see which ones we have. And if you want to do something, I can always send them out. And like I said, I'd basically, whatever my cost is what I'd sell it to you. So I think a war nickel right now is like $240 or something like that in silver. I do have the 50D also. I bought one that was a BU from Pa years ago, and I found one in one of my hunts, so I've been pretty lucky. But yeah, these are average. I've got another set of these, half a tube. I just got to combine them together for my average war. So there you go. I've also got regular Jeffersons. These are just ones that I started pulling out. I've got tons more. So if you need certain years or anything, 19 nickels to an ounce. I think, like when someone was asking in one of my comments, it was like, what about historically? I'm like, historically, it is still the same ratio. You know, it's not going to be the same amount of silver price, but it's going to be the same percentage no matter what. And I think it was like 5.6% silver. Like if you take an ounce of silver and times it by 0.056, that's what the amount of silver equals. So I was like, 5 years ago when it was 14 bucks an ounce, it was only worth, $1.07. So I don't know if the guy could kind of get that through his head, but sometimes people ask the weirdest questions. It's like, historically, it's going to stay the same amount of silver. Don't know what you mean. So basically, one face value is equal to 1 ounce, roughly. I mean, easy way to remember it is 5%. So 20 nickels is an ounce. Easy way to remember it. Awesome. Well, if you want to stick around, I'll do some of these pennies that we'll look for mint marks and stuff. It's up to you. If you want to take off, if you're tired, and completely understand. So let's do back to there. Now we'll just go through and find which ones are which and get my scope kind of situated back. 61.53 Canadian, so about 1.5 times almost, roughly. So the 88, no serif. 1980 is a DDO. And I can't remember exactly where all the DDO ones are. Like some of them you can see them on Liberty Easy. Some of them are on like the dates, like the 1955s and stuff. Oops. I threw the coins on the ground instead of my dump bucket. It's actually a canvas bag that I put into one of those big popcorn tins, and then I just pulled a canvas bag out, and I found out it can hold 50 pounds because 2 boxes of halves or 2 boxes of quarters type thing. And it's funny when I go into the bank and I've got 2 bags, so I've got 100 pounds of coins. And I'll walk through the door and they'll be like, "Hi, Adam." And I'm not the best at looking at some of these just because to me sometimes they're so hard to see that it's like, seriously? How are you even finding that? And sometimes you do find a DDO on a 65 quarter. I think I've found a DDO on that. And if you take it out of the, because I put it in a flip, and in the flip it is hard to tell. But if you take it out and it's just under there, you can see all the notching on all the letters and everything. So it's like, I'm not perfect at it, but to me, I have never found one that even looks like that. So 69 is, oh, that's no FG on the reverse. I was thinking it was the 69S. And I can see that FG. I found 82s and was it 82s and 72 on halves that are no FGs. I found 3 of them in one box, 2 82s and 1 72. I wish there was like estate sales and stuff. I've tried to get people to sell me their collections around here, and people just do not want to sell it. 70S, we've got a large and a small date, or a large date DDO, and then just a regular DDO. I'm not good on large and smalls. It's one of those I would have to, I think that's a large. It's oh, that's a 94D. I don't know why I have that one. This one is a 82D. That is a large date, I believe. And I do have the scale out, and that was 3.05. One of these times I'm going to find like a wide AM in some of those, but nope, close. And I met a guy at the bank. I was dumping halves, and he's like, "Why are you dumping those?" I'm like, "Because they're brand new and I don't want them." He's like, well, I would have taken them. I'm like, "Okay, let's go out. I'll count them and sell it to you, but I don't know why you'd want them." So he ended up buying all of them, and $500 worth, because I had 1,000 in my bag, and got his number, and I called him when I picked up another box, because at that time I was picking up 2 boxes a week, and they were all brand new 2024 Ds. And so I called him. I said, "I do have." Oh, why am I looking? I keep doing that. So the 69D, it says no FG on the reverse. I don't know if it's dirty or... No, there's a G. Dang it. I was hoping I found one for you. 66 is both the DDO and the DDR. I think it was 66, yep. And I figure if it's questionable, like I can't tell, it might be, it might not be, I'll just throw it in and let you look at it. But yeah, like that, I'm not seeing anything on that one. That's the one thing I hate about pennies is they're small, and so you're looking at the date and then trying to remember which one you're looking for a DDO, which one you're looking for DDRs, which one you're looking for wide AMs, which one you're, And sometimes I've seen them and I'm like, I can't tell, but to me it's more damage than... Where's it at? There we go. Yeah. For mine, I picked up that Barber half collection, and I was only needing 7 Barbers. Well, let me go off of this one for a second. This one was on sale on APMEX, and all mine are at least G4 condition. So I picked that up. So that's one more spot in my book. So now I've only got 6 left. 1896. But some of those I need are a couple $100 in a good condition. Luckily, I'm about the only one that ever comes in and orders. Like, I pick up my halves from the bank. I can pick up my coin from the credit union. And I dump at the credit union, but it's a Coinstar that's like for their lobby, so it's not the big green kind, but it's for their like members. They do a little bit of servicing type thing on it, but they don't, you know, empty it because it's just those big bins. And you know, it holds 500 pounds or whatever. So they don't service that part. They just have to go in and do some of the minor like servicing type thing on it. But they don't really care if I dump. Sometimes they think it's actually funny that I'm sitting there and dumping and dumping and dumping and dumping. They're like, yeah, sometimes, like, they'll be talking with other customers at the same time. They're like, yeah, sometimes it sounds like a casino in here. Close AM? Nope. Yeah, this will take forever. I was gonna say I might finish these up when I'm not so tired after looking at these for hours. All right, well. I've got your file. I'm going to go through them tomorrow evening when I get home because my eyes are starting to play funny things. Anyway, I'm going to call that a night. So I've still got all these to go through. I think I've gotten emails. I know I've heard a couple of them come in, so I'm assuming I've gotten everybody. Yeah, BH, send me an email. New Marshall, I know I got your email. And Copper Owl, I know I got your email. So if BH is still in here, yeah, send that. And that'll be a copper round. But again, thank you very much. I'll get better as I go along. I've only been doing it for, I think, not even 10 times now. So it's only been a month and I've only done a couple of them a week at the most. So there you go. So I'm going to say goodnight. Finish the rest of my drink, one more gulp, and that will be gone. What I always do is I always go like that, because I'll be sitting there and I'll grab an empty can and go to drink it. And I'm like, damn it. So I've learned I kind of squeeze them a little bit, and then I know, oh, that one's empty. I'm not going to pick it up. Yeah, around here it's only Loomis, and it comes in like one of those cargo vans. They don't come in the big truck. I don't know about the other bank in town, because they're like bigger bank. They're all over Utah, and they've got other branches that are different names in like other states. So like in Utah it's Zions Bank, in Colorado it's Vector Bank, in wherever else it's a different bank, but they're all the same corporation. So I think they kind of service like their own thing. Yeah, I'm gonna stream Thursday a nickel hunt. I think it was New Marshall that wanted to get a box on that. But yeah, I plan on streaming Thursday, probably about the same time. Nickels are a little easier for me to go through, so probably 6:30 still, and like I said, it's a little easier, quicker I should say. Pennies just take a while, so I'll have to start those earlier. But yeah, Thursday. So, and then you had the 43 and the 45D war nickel. I'm going to put that down so I don't forget it's war. All right. Well, I think that's it for now. I'm going to go put my coin away so I don't forget it and lose it and accidentally send it out or put it in my discard pile. Luckily it's in a flip, so I doubt that'll happen. I've got to get into my safe and pull out that book. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. I think it's usually less than 2 hours for a box of nickels. So I'm figuring somewhere around 6:30. Most likely about 6:30. That gives me time to get home, kind of change, that sort of thing. But I'll put a notice out like I did this time in the morning, and just put, whatever time I'll be streaming it that night. But yeah, I've got quite a few boxes of nickels right now. Pennies too. I better put that. I did not have that on all the way. So, all right. Enough jibber jabbering. I am done for the evening. Appreciate it. Do you guys like this idea of finding the oldest thing and that sort of thing? I think it's kind of interesting. We'll see. All right. Good night.